Welcome back to this next video featuring another snowboard. And not just another snowboard, it's a Jones snowboard. So our last video was about a ES, now we're going to a Jones board. This specifically is a Jones Christensen collaborative. This is from the Surf Series. This is the brand new 2021 Mind Expander. It's featuring right now some Flow Fuse GT bindings. We'll talk about them in a couple of minutes in this video, but we're first going to be discussing, of course, this beauty of a board in the Surf Series that Jones and Christensen collab produce. For those of you who are unaware of the Surf Series, there are uniquer shapes in there that you won't find in a general in the main lineup of most brands. Jones makes it the Surf Series, and you'll find with Jones, you'll find the Storm Chaser, the Lone Wolf, the Mind Expander, the Ultra Mind Expander that we're having right here, and some other funner designs, the Mountain Surfer, like just more fun designs, a little bit more focused at, in general, powder riding. But for those of you watching, you're probably more interested in this specific board and its smaller, well, not smaller cousin because they're the same sizes, but their more friendly cousin, the normal Mind Expander. So the Mind Expander was designed originally as a all-mountain alternative to what we generally see as an all-mountain board. And I think it nailed some of it, and could have been better in some other cases, because the Mind Expander is mostly, well, it's a rocker board. This one has camber, the Ultra version. So we're going to be focusing on this one now. The camber goes from binding to binding. You'll have a big rockered out nose with the 3D contour base design. So they're slightly spoon shaped to allow for initiating turns easier and just floating a little bit better. The same contour is in the tail. This is the 3.0. It's one of the more aggressive ones, as you can see in one of the pictures right there. And it has traction tech, the 3.0 version again, which is a contoured edge with a bump at the bindings and a bump in the middle, where the bump in the middle is a little bit larger, just for better edge hold while you're on, well, for instance, an ice sheet. You will just hold, the edge will just hold that much better, and you'll be a lot more comfortable even on icy days. The board itself, of course, has that long nose, that short tail, which just allows it for you to slash through slush, slash it through powder. It's just easy to ride, even in this more cambered oriented profile. It has the Ultra Core design, which means that there's a bunch of carbon in here. It's a lot stiffer than the normal version of the Mind Expander. It's a lot more powerful, it's a lot more stable, and it's just, in my opinion, the better of the two. Like the Mind Expander itself feels a little bit looser. This feels a lot more stable, a lot better platform to also want to charge. Like, it's fun on the slush days, it's fun in the power, but it's also fun on groomers, just to ride it deep, just those beautiful carved in curves. I think this one just does that a little bit better. It also has the 9900 Ultra base that you'll find, for instance, on flagships, on the Aviator. So it's a really fast base that will just allow you to charge just that little bit harder. It has the V-core design, so the core itself between the bindings is just a little bit softer to allow for more flex, more power in the tip and tail, for more stability out and when coming out of corners, for instance, and just general charging again. I just find this an absolute magnificent board. Like, this board doesn't come to its rights in an indoor environment. That's just obvious. This one belongs on the mountain, and it really doesn't matter what time of year. So if it's slushy, if it's icy, if it's full on powder, this board just absolutely loves it. Now, in the previous video, I mentioned that I really like now bindings, and still I have fused GTs on here. That's because I just didn't have mine with me, and I needed I needed the spare set. But if you're gonna go with a flow binding for easy entry, I always have two things I want to say about it. If you go for them, please get the fusion versions with the single large cap, not this version. You'll just notice with getting in and out that not every boot will line up perfectly with the front strap on this one, and you'll be adjusting it a little bit more. And the Fusion one just doesn't have that issue. Secondly, my personal opinion again, if you're getting a flow binding, always go for the Fuse series or the NX2s. They're just, in my opinion, so much more binding than the other offerings. And really doesn't matter which specific version. If you go for the GT version, this is the GT version which has the aluminum high back compared to the nylon one that's on the standard version, the one that's reinforced with nylon. It really doesn't matter. But these, the Fuse and the NX2s, just feel so much better than, for instance, the Phoenix. So that's just my personal advice. If you're going to go and grab a couple of flow bindings, go ahead, take a Fuse, and make sure you have the Fusion cap, because I'm absolutely in love with the Fusion caps. They're just that much better. That's the one single large cap you have on top of there. And the Fuse and the NX2s. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe. I'm hoping to do a lot of these kinds of videos in the coming months, just to talk about the boards. Also, if we're lucky and the snow and Corona and everything works out, and we're going to do as many as we can in the snow when possible. So I'll see you guys in the next one.